Community Center. It's early season high school girls hockey, and whether it's an early season game, game 3 of the year, during a holiday tournament, or in the state championship, this is a big matchup. It's the Edina Hornets here in Andover to take on the Huskies, along with Joe Rulin. I'm Jim Erickson. These teams, when they play, it's always a barn burner.
It is. In regular season, last year they faced each other 3 times, and Andover won that season battle 2-1. All of the scores in those games, 3-0 of all sorts. But when they do get together, it's a different tempo, and of course Edina coming off a state championship and brings it to Andover's backyard.
As the Andover Huskies come here and are looking to make their 8th consecutive trip to the state tournament, they got a lot of players back. They got a goalie that can really play, but Edina's got almost everybody back.
Yeah, missing just a couple of players. One of them was Halverson for Edina last year. She's on to Wisconsin, but otherwise they return just about everyone. They're going to be a handful. They can bring a lot of flying, some scoreability, but meanwhile you'll see the Huskies tonight. The Huskies will begin some puck hunting.
This rivalry is relatively new. It only really started a few years ago when Andover started making their runs. And you look at it, this is the 13th all-time meeting, and Andover's got a 9-3 edge in the series, Joe.
That's correct, 9-3. They played once in 2012, but then they didn't play for the next 6 years. But since then, they've played a dozen games against one another, if not regular season, into postseason. Each time, it's a great matchup.
Including a couple of times in the state championship game, of course. We'll drop the puck for you coming up. I'm Jim Erickson. That's Joe Rulin. Stay tuned on QCTV Sports.
Hey, good evening. We have the head coach for the Andover Husky girls hockey team in her 12th season, Melissa Volk. Melissa, 12th season, how do you define this year's team?
I think we're still trying to find our way. It's super early, but I know we're going to rely on our seniors very heavily this year for their on-ice play and their leadership.
You're taking on a team tonight, Edina, who picked up the state championship last year. So how do you get your team kind of keeping that adrenaline at an even pace?
We're just excited to play. It's also our home opener and also our military appreciation night. So it's a big night for us to get a shot at, obviously, the previous state champions. And we're just excited to play.
Yeah. What are you doing to kind of get that team kind of jumped, ready to go offensively here tonight?
We definitely got to get pucks on net. We haven't done a very good job of that in the last 2 games, so that's definitely a focal point tonight.
Melissa Volk, head coach for the Andover Huskies. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And here we are live at the Andover Community Center. The puck is down and underway here tonight. The Edina Hornets clad in their green, yellow, and white. And the Andover Huskies here at home wearing their special military night uniforms and first responder night here tonight. Again, along with Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson. And we are just underway here tonight with these teams meeting again for the 13th all-time meeting. And as we mentioned before, the Huskies have won 8 of the last 10, and they've won 9 of the first 12, going 9-3, as the Hornets will dump it in. In net tonight here for the Andover Huskies is Clarabella Hills, the junior, 1-1 on the season. Started and played in both of their 2 games here this season. Huskies are 1-1. Edina off to a hot start. They've outscored their opponents 14-1. And they're off to a 2-0 start, Joe.
They are. Andover, the other side, trying to create some goals and create some activity here as Huskies going 3rd game of the season.
Yeah, Huskies have scored just 1 goal here this season in their first 2 games. They are 1-1 as they opened up with a victory over Holy Angels 1-0, and then a 2-0 loss last Thursday against Minnetonka. And an icing here on Edina, which is kind of strange for this Andover team and for Edina as well. They're so used to scoring a lot of goals. To go through 2 games and only have 1, that's uncharted territory for the Huskies.
Absolutely. Looking to crash the net, maybe some good passing tape to tape, and create some spacing and some alleys for some good-looking shots for Andover.
Huskies able to hold it in at the point. Andover in those special uniforms, and a redirected puck to the side of the net. The starting goaltender tonight for Edina is Reese McConnell. Head coach Sammy Cowger is going to rotate her goalies here early on in the season until one of them kind of takes the reins as the number one. Here's a steal out in front. McQuay up to the high slot. And McQuay right back at it here for the Huskies. McQuay, the Bethel commit, on that second line. 11 goals, 11 assists last season. Looking for her first point here this season as the Huskies work it in on McConnell. And she'll cover up. We're just a couple of minutes in. The 2:04 mark, no score.
Hey, well, they have a lot of talent returning, both of these squads. And you can see Gertis comes in off the bench, tries to settle that puck. Unable to get that shot on. And goal, again, it's McConnell who makes that save and covers up.
Hornets returning 7 of their top 9 scorers. Meanwhile, Andover returning 5 of their top 6 coming back. They graduated their 3rd leading scorer last year, Nora Sauer, who's at the University of St. Thomas, as well as half of the Huskies that have gone on to play Division I, it seems, as Edina gets the puck in on the right side, quickly in on the Andover goaltender, and the junior Hills will make the save. Hills this season, she's seen 33 shots on goal. She's made 32 saves.
She has, in fact, getting another run here, and good start for the season. And of course, one defensive blue liner missing for the Huskies that played last year was certainly Kaylin Mum. And she's doing well also at St. Thomas University. Certainly miss her speed.
Christensen, who brings some speed. Speaking of that, brings it in, bumped off the play. Dinah gets it in low. Lorelei Nelson, 2 goals, 2 assists against Rogers in their 8-0 season opening win. After it here for the Hornets. Picked off in the forecheck by the Huskies. Comes back out to neutral, and backpedaling back is Maya Engler. Engler has the lone goal this season for the Huskies. She is headed to St. Thomas.
Engler last season, 14 goals, 14 assists. One thing that the Huskies bring back this year is some balanced scoring. A lot of scores in double figures.
Team just kind of that feel-out period here early on. Just 1 shot on goal. That's for Edina as they carry it in. There's Libby Moe, the sophomore, an assist on the season, 2 goals last year. She's going to be asked to do a little bit more on the second defensive pair here for the Edina Hornets. They did lose their top scorer a year ago, Hannah Halverson, who's at Wisconsin. Off to a nice start. She's had 7 points early on in the season for the top-ranked Badgers. She had 28 goals, 57 points last year as Andover gets to work here, cycling into the corner. Up to the point, quick shot there by Courtney Little, and it's right in on Reese McConnell. And the senior goaltender last year, a .87 goals against, .936 save percentage, 9 shutouts, backstopping her team to their 5th ever state championship.
Well, what helps her as well is you can see there a good shot from the point. She minimizes those rebounds, absorbs it. Not much to reach out and follow up and crash the net for any free biscuits.
Hornets push it down that far side. It'll be Taylor Schreifels will go after it. Sophomore, second pair D here for the Huskies. 1-1 on the season, as we mentioned. 7 seniors on this Andover team. They did lose, as we mentioned, Nora Sauer. They got their top 2 scorers coming back. We can look at Hannah Christensen and Mackenzie Jones. Jones led the team in all 3 categories last year. Always nice to have your top scorer coming back. Mackenzie Jones, 18 goals, 29 assists, 47 points. Huskies trying to tap it out of their zone in front of their bench, and instead it's fed here to Horton by Edina. Lily Horton with a shot, gloved and held onto by Hills, face off in the Andover zone.
Good look, skating in. Tried to put that between the skates, but instead went to the side there of Little, the defense, and tried to use her as a shield. A good clean glove save, flashing some early leather as Hills.
Hornets will send their top line out there. Lorelei Nelson, 15 goals last year, had a goal in the state championship game. That victory over Hill Murray, 2-0 last year at the XL Energy Center. Out to the point, dumped in there. Prelwitz here for the Hornets. Head coach Sammy Cowger in her 9th season with the Hornets. Last year in the win against Andover, picking up her 200th career win last year against these Huskies.
That first line, Jim, 96 career goals for Edina.
Backhanded down by the Huskies. It'll be icing. No hybrid icing yet in high school, although the Huskies there did win the race.
Did right there. You get a look at Christensen. Hannah last year, 15 goals, 20 assists. You had mentioned Mac Jones leading in many categories. Another one she let in was power play goals, in which she had 6. She's got a boomer, a filthy slap shot. They'll like that at Wisconsin.
Let's look at the dangle here by the Hornets, trying to play it back to the line, but that snuck away in the pass. Lorelei Nelson keeping that puck alive, but the pass back to the blue line missed its mark, sent all the way down. Edina clearing the puck on themselves. We're in the first period here in this early season matchup. Number 2 versus number 4. Feet ahead, tipped by the Huskies. That'll end up back in the Andover zone. Molly Clough back to get it, freshman. Now, we mentioned Andover has 7 seniors, but they also have some freshmen and sophomores that are going to have to contribute this year as well.
If that Clough name sounds familiar, his sister also plays at St. Thomas.
Maddie.
Correct.
Up to the blue line. Comes back free to Julia Gertis. She'll have it out to center, makes her way to the red line, dumps it in. We mentioned Andover will be trying for their 8th consecutive section championship. They've won 7 straight Section 7 titles, 9 state tournament appearances entering this year, 2-time champs. These teams have combined for 7 titles. Going back to the first title that Edina ever had was 2017. So their run of success for state championships really started recently within the last decade as well. As it's picked up by the Hornets. Here comes Davis in. And a shot that bounces wide up off the end wall. Kate McCoy for the Hornets comes away with it. Curls off the wall. Up to the point. Another one that sneaks out. Prellwoods couldn't hold it in. Back here for Libby Moe to reset. Sophomore defense. Up that far side wall. Moe still has it. Takes a shot up high. Blocker side on Hills up high off the glass. And back out. Edina comes right back. And then Andover able to sneak it through neutral, and the Hornets will reset here with Lily Horton.
You can see Andover right now just trying to match up some lines and find a chance for the speed here. McQuay in and her line here for Andover.
Little up to the line. She holds it in. It's going to sneak in. There's a Husky right out in front. That was Thorson sneaking her way. Almost got her stick on it. And the Hornets will clear it down. Icing here on Edina. A year ago, Edina 24-6-1, co-champs of the Lake Conference. Mentioned they won their 5th state championship. Huskies last year 22-6-3, 9-0-1. They didn't lose a game in conference play, but because of the conference schedule, the Northwest Suburban and points-wise, they actually finished 2nd, which is an interesting scenario.
It was.
And 9-0-1, and again, they won in the quarterfinals of the state tournament last year, beat Rosemount, but then dropped to Hill Murray and then in Minnetonka in the consolation final. Trying to get back there again, as we mentioned. The Hornets tried to get the puck on their stick back behind the net off a Husky centering pass. As was off of Engler's stick, came back to Edina. And it'll be the Hornets pushing it back to the way. Lorelei Nelson sees a lot of ice time here. Onto the stick. Gardner comes across the blue line here in the near side. Into the corner. We're nearing the midway mark here of this first period. Up and out. Does it have enough for icing, Joe? It does. Icing again here on the Huskies. You can just see these teams very competitive with each other. They know, and I talked to Edina head coach Sammy Calger. They know, they're very aware of the fact that Edina has not done well in this building and really hasn't done well overall, as we mentioned on top of the broadcast, against Andover.
Yeah, 9-3 in the previous 12 games, have yet to pick up a win here in Andover at the community center during those the previous 12 games. So they'd like to break that tonight.
Yeah, a lot of fun storylines here when these teams play, and the rivalry really has become heated. You play teams in the state championship a couple of times, you get a rivalry. Just like how the North Stars and the Blackhawks built their rivalry through the playoff matchups that happened year after year after year. Trifles here trying to pinch and hold it in. Battling for the Hornets is Stella Hankinson. If that name is familiar, yes. Father Casey, Uncle Ben. She had, of course, Ben Hankinson, Peter Hankinson, all had that pipeline from Edina to the Gophers and then into pro hockey. And the young Hankinson here, Stella, getting her stick on the puck as Andover goes back to retrieve. Long feed again. That's going to be icing. This one waved off this time. Touched at center. Picked up. Hornets breakout off the mark. Intercepted Huskies. Schreifels throws it in wide of the net. 7.5 left first period. No score here from Andover. Two of the top programs in the state the last several years. Nifty move at neutral. Here comes Kayla Starr. Forced wide. Good defense. Andover got back and forced Starr wide. Didn't get a really good angle of a shot off. And the Huskies able to clear it out.
Starr showed her explosiveness on the move up and some stick handling. Just didn't get the quality shot she was looking for, but nonetheless, Hills makes the save.
Here's Kayla Starr again, had 2 goals in their victory over Proctor Hermantown. They beat Proctor Hermantown 6-1. We mentioned Rogers 8-0 in their season opener. But they knew coming in that this was going to be a tougher matchup in Andover, that they probably weren't going to put up goals like this. I mean, there's still hockey to be played here tonight, but this one just, you know, in men's or boys hockey, we'd say this has been a tightly checked game, even though technically there's no checking. But you got body on body here. There's not a lot of ice to work with for either team.
Well, and you know, the blue line for the Huskies, you have Little and you have McKenzie. Mac Jones very strong on the blue line.
Poked away by Horton. Good race for the puck. Christensen gets to it first. Hannah Christensen, the senior, heading to Northeastern. She got upended, goes down in a heap, slow to get up. Edina picks up the puck, centering out in front, intercepted Huskies. And it'll be Andover coming back to the way. This is Olsen. Olsen takes it to the middle. She got spun around. Hornets pick it up there. Their breakout pass out of the reach of Horton. And Andover back to their blue line. Far side backhand shovel Engler. Hornets back with it. Prelwitz brings it back up and out to neutral. Mac Jones back to get it. High scoring defenseman heading to Wisconsin.
Well, you also have Courtney Little.
Quick shot off the stick of the goaltender. Making the save was McConnell. Then she fell backwards. Puck was there momentarily. Edina able to clear it out of the zone.
Hey, they've got to be able to just put some shots on. They may seem like a distance, but you're not going to score if you don't put some shots on and create a little bit of a rebound.
Shots are even 3-3 right now, but really no grade A chances yet for either team. Hornets bring it across the line. Kate McCoy towards the net in the slot. Andover got a little sloppy there. Fritz with a nice bump, picked off and played the other way by the Huskies. Edina comes right back at him. Libby Mole got slowed up there with a little hook, but they let it go, just not enough for a penalty, and they bring it in offside. 5:02 left first period. Shots are tied at 3, no score.
Well, you mentioned Edina winning the state championship last year. It took them until late in that third period, and the game-winning goal was by number 15, Whitney Horton, who picked up the game winner. They won 2-0, but they went against Hill Murray, who had a tough goalie last year in Grace Zahn. She's over at Dartmouth playing this year.
Yeah, Horton had the goal, and the other goal, second goal of the game, was Nelson. Made it 2-0, and Edina celebrated the championship at the XL Energy Center. This one will be sent down. It'll be another icing. They've got Kate McCoy, who's headed to Dartmouth. The commitments for Edina: Lorelei Nelson, Penn State. Whitney Horton going to St. Thomas. You have Kate McCoy, Dartmouth. Camille Dubuque, the defenseman senior, going to Quinnipiac. And Nora Hannon, tonight's backup goalie, St. Thomas. You know, you could just take the recruits and the players that have moved on from Division I from these two programs the last 5-6 years and put together a pretty good collegiate team, I think.
You certainly could.
Hornets tried to center. It's off a stick, deflected up that far wing and picked off here by the Huskies. Hornets being very, very physical. Libby Mole stepping in the way and stopping Olsen. Picked back up Davis, who carries it to the right wing. Squares up. It's Davis again along the end wall, holding on to that puck. Drops it behind the net. Starr tried to wrap it around, and there's Hills right there in that far post to cover it up.
Yeah, they're buzzing. The Hornets are out there, no pun intended, getting a little buzz going on, trying to create some scoring opportunities. Hills pinches that one, tried to go between the pad and the post, and she denied it. A good matchup. The one thing both these coaches do that make the team so great, they develop the teams and the players when they are in that program. And you see that with Andover. Through the season each year, they're playing and hitting the right flow at the right time.
And we've talked a lot about St. Thomas. Surprising news out of Tommy Land earlier here today that Joel Johnson, their first Division I coach, he was hired as a Division I coach when they went D1, resigned today. And one of their assistants taking over. So that certainly is somewhat surprising here. Both of these head coaches obviously work with Joel Johnson and work with his program. I've had a lot of players move on to that program at St. Thomas, Joe. So that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, he was also a head coach of the last Women's USA Olympic team.
Longtime assistant under Laura Halderson and then Brad Frost at the University of Minnesota as well. As the Huskies get it back here into the near side corner. Working it is Piper Andrews. Swings it around. Hornets pick it off. Play it up off the glass, but not out. Waiting for it. Pinching. McQuay with a shot, and Huskies able to sneak it in. And again, the goaltender Reese McConnell right there. Perfect positioning. Face off in the Edina zone.
Hey, McQuay kept working, and she had 11 goals, 11 assists last year. Almost had her first goal of the season there, if not thwarting the save at that time by McConnell.
You see those special jerseys? It's special military and first responder night tonight. Face-off win here by the Huskies. And they dump it into the corner. McQuay right after it again, very active. Solid check. Thorson taken into the corner. They're letting them play tonight. Andrews to the net, off a stick and wide. McQuay after the rebound. Chased in there along with Thurl. Up to the line. Held in by Courtney Little. She'll be going to St. Thomas. But now with the coaching change, who knows what happens now with some of those commitments. A lot of times those things change. A lot of times you're committed to the coach and not as much to the school. You see that all the time when there's a change.
So many variables for a coach right now at the collegiate level.
Yeah, you think of NIL, you think of the portal, you think of all the things. I mean, there might be roster caps coming in the NCAA where you have to provide scholarships for all of your spots on your roster. They're going to cap the roster, I think, at 26 is what I heard. So that's a big commitment as it's cleared down here. Touched by Edina. No icing, no score. Final 2 minutes of the first period.
Russo maybe had a chance there. She could have controlled the puck just beyond her reach at center ice.
4 shots on goal for each team. Shot deflected off of the stick of Mo up high into the air, up to the line, and picked off and carried the other way here by the Huskies. In on the right side, a shot going down to the ice. And a good save by the goaltender McConnell, but there's many who really bear down, and there's somebody for the Andover Huskies. Sophia Meny, some speed there as a sophomore on that third line. You could see her really get an edge and cut down that left wing.
Well, you could tell. She worked hard to get a good look and finished with a good wrister.
Puck loose. Christensen delivers a shoulder check. Going after the star player for the Hornets, Lorelei Nelson knocked her down. Back out to neutral, kicked around. Christensen's got it again. You know, it has been physical. There's got to be a point, though, that the officials are going to have to call something, or it's just going to continue to escalate a little bit.
I think Christian remembers the fact that she was upended just a few minutes ago.
Oh, yeah. Jones, shot from the point, redirected, they score! Christian out in front. Mac Jones from the point sent it to the net. And it's the home team in their special uniforms. The Huskies take a 1-0 lead.
Hey, they crashed the net. Big shot by Mac Jones, and Christensen gets the tip. 15 goals last year, her first of the season. That's got to feel good, and jumping out in time here of Edina. Great tip in front, just in front of the blue. And promptly and precisely lifts it right over the shoulder that time of McConnell as it fluttered to the back of the net.
Well, you said, Coach Melissa Volk said before the season, get pucks to the net before the game. Get pucks to the net, crash the net, get the rebounds, get your stick on it, and that's exactly what they did when you got a goaltender like Reese McConnell, a senior. but a .87 goals against last year. You got to make tough. You got to make things tough on goalies like that, Joe. What we like to say, you got to get in their kitchen. And that's exactly what Hannah Christensen did there to give the Huskies a late goal in the first period. Waiting at the blue line is Olsen. Tries to stick handler away down the wing. Puck comes down the slot. Ends up back below for Gertis. Huskies crash in up to Olsen towards the net and wide. Olsen was waiting at the blue line, kind of flat-footed because she couldn't go into the zone and take the pass. So she had to wait, and that slowed her entry into the zone and allowed the defense of Edina to come back. Final seconds of the period, and that is how we end the first. Late goal here for the Andover Huskies. Final minute of the period, Joe. That can really help build some momentum going into the break and into the second.
Yeah, I'd say the second half of the period, the Huskies really brought a little edge to it. They brought that extra effort and really looking to grind it out, and they got the big shot by Mac Jones at the near point, and in front, Hannah Christensen with the tip to give Andover a 1-0 lead.
Christensen the goal, 1-0 your score. We played one period. The Hornets and the Huskies here on QCTV Sports.
In a world where physical health often takes the spotlight, it's easy to overlook an equally important aspect of our well-being, mental health. Yet despite its significance, mental health is often stigmatized, misunderstood, or simply neglected. From creating awareness to offering education and community wellness grants, to hosting our annual 5K walk for mental wellness, the Mental Wellness Campaign for Anoka County is creating a community where mental health is as important as physical health. Let's break the silence, erase the stigma, and prioritize mental health. Together, we can create a world where everyone feels supported, understood, and empowered to live their best lives. The Mental Wellness Campaign for Anoka County, your mental health matters.
My favorite thing about volunteering as an Extension Master Gardener is learning about the different gardening styles and sharing that knowledge with others. I love meeting and learning from people who care about educating, inspiring others through gardening. Whether you are a new or seasoned gardener, there's always something new to learn. In 2023, our Anoka County program will celebrate 40 years of teaching and working with residents. They learn to grow healthy plants and foods, improve local ecosystems, and create outdoor living spaces for people. I am one of over 150 Master Gardener volunteers living in this area, so one of our strengths is being familiar with the challenges other local gardeners face. Every May, the Master Gardeners host a plant sale fundraiser and sell plants grown and thriving in this region. The money we raise supports our community project and activities throughout the rest of the year. I am excited to see what positive changes we can make this year and the ripple effect it can create. Please visit theanokamastergardeners.org to learn about upcoming Master Gardener events and services and how you can become a volunteer.
Hi there, I'm Cameron Kaitonen, City of Andover Natural Resources Technician. I'm here to talk about the Nature Preserve Commission, formerly known as the Open Space Advisory Commission, which is an advisory board to the City Council. This group is primarily tasked with management and maintenance decisions of the 4 nature preserves in the City of Andover. This group was originally formed in 2006 to help decide what properties to purchase after the approved $2 million bond referendum that same year. After that referendum went through, the group helped to decide on 4 preserves that were purchased. The group is also tasked with looking at potential funding options for potentially buying new land in the city. The group generally meets quarterly on the second Wednesday of the month at around 6 p.m. So beginning in November, December, we will be looking for new members to the group. There will be information in the November, December edition of the city newsletter, which will outline the application process and instructions for if you are interested in applying. So if you are interested in the outdoors, interested in being a part of the community and working along with the City of Andover, and also would like to meet new people, this might be a great opportunity for you.
Hey guys, I wanted to try something new lately, so I decided to go to the City of Ramsey's website, their Park and Rec page, and I decided to try out infrared archery. Let's go see how I did.
The fun thing for us as coaches is that first end when we actually teach them how to draw the bow and to release and shoot their first arrows. We see a lot of misses. We see the arrows go flying and the kids kind of go, oh wow. And then as we start to make adjustments as coaches, we start to see less arrows move beyond the target and we see more hits on here. So that's like one of the most rewarding things for me as a coach is being able to see improvement and help that, hope use the word, aha moment. That's one of our big things is seeing those aha moments or hearing a child on the line say yes when they hit the X, you know, it's super rewarding.
Hey Leslie, it was your first time shooting a bow, what'd you think?
I am weak. You have to be strong and you're pulling back. It's like the tension is harder than you think. I think I did pretty well. My last one was in the blue. I don't remember when my third one was. I'm happy.
I just honestly, there's so much like self-improvement. I don't know if you put it that way, but I've learned so many lessons just coming up through it. And then being able to just help other people reach those or like have like an aha moment, like they figure out something that transforms their shot for the better. Helping people get to that is so satisfying. It's so great. It's just really cool to watch.
The instructors were really nice and talked us through all of it, giving us tips on how to hold the bow, a good stance, and to think about the wind.
It's very windy, so it really affects things. I had some trouble shooting earlier because when you're at full draw, when you have all that weight, and then you're basically a sail, so it's really important to stay solid through the whole thing, but if you're blowing around like that, it makes a big difference. So yeah, the weather definitely, you have to take that into account, and like there were times where I'd be up on the line and I'd just have to wait to solid 30 seconds for gusts to go by so I could actually have time. So a lot of it is thinking through how can I handle the weather, and yeah, I enjoyed that.
The grip here, it's the kind of,
just those simple things of holding the bow correctly and thinking about the wind. That really makes a big difference on how you shoot and if you even hit the target. So, just things that make sense once you actually know how the sport works.
Archery is really a fun lifetime sport. Something that's super easy to get into. You can always find a local pro shop. Go out there, try some different bows. Most of the pro shops do have programs for, like we did here, on an extended basis, more of the 6 to 8 week programs where we can really develop, hunters, bow hunter, whether you're a bow hunter or just want to do it in your free time. You're 6 years old all the way up to 80 years old. We don't care, we'll come teach you how to do this sport. It's really rewarding, it's really fun.
like, don't be afraid to be a beginner. Don't be afraid to be bad at it. I've been doing it for like over 10 years and I still have days where I'm bad at it. Nobody's perfect. So you just have to try. Just reach out, find a place and try, because you never know. Like, it could be the greatest thing you do.
Try archery. Reach out to local pro shop. Go have fun. Go shoot some arrows. Even if you don't own equipment, most shops have free equipment that you can use to do it. Go try it. It's a lot of fun.
The City of Ramsey hosts a variety of programs and activities that will bound to match one of your interests. So you should go check out the City of Ramsey's website and sign up for something, because it's always fun to try something new.
Game Fair returned to the City of Ramsey in 2024 and was a great turnout. Hey, whether you're into fishing, hunting, or anything in between, Game Fair is the place to be. We spoke with some of the amazing vendors who were selling their excellent products, so be sure to come next year to score some great gear. But hey, the real star of Game Fair this year, the dogs. So many amazing dogs.
Drum roll, drum roll. Good job, drum roll.
Take Bingo for example, running through his obstacle course like a pro. But hey, let's pause Bingo for just a second for what I like to call the dogs of Game Fair. If you missed Game Fair this year, no sweat. Be sure to mark your calendars for next year when Game Fair returns to the City of Ramsey in 2025.
That was my nephew's vehicle. We took out the green aisle.
And the teams are heading back out onto their ice. Joe telling the story of his trip out to Green Isle. I hope everything was just fine and dandy in Green Isle, although it sounds like a deer didn't make it home that night, Joe.
Deer down.
Let's take a look at the highlights and a recap of that first period for the Huskies and the Hornets.
Well, you know what? The Huskies took a while to get those skates going, cycling, getting things rocking. Some good pressure and some good looks for Edina. And then some great second effort here by the Huskies really gave them some great looks, and it wasn't until late in that first period, this big shot by Jones, at least she put it near the net. That's all you need to do. Cause some distraction, some traffic, and tipping it over the top of the goalie's shoulder that time was Hannah Christensen that gave Andover that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Christensen's first goal of the season, 16:02 mark of that first period. In the final minute of that first period, trying to match her 15 goals that she had last year. Second on the team last year in all three categories behind Mac Jones for the Huskies. Again, Jones had the assist on that at 16:02. That made it 1-0. Shots on goal in that first period, Andover 6 and Edina 4. So not a lot of offensive chances really, Joe, for either team in that first period.
No, you know what, they're playing fast, getting into the zone, but you're right. They're really getting back to really block and defend a lot of those initial shots.
Yeah, both of these teams and these programs have been high-scoring, high-powered programs. And to have a first period only combined 10 shots on goal, you show that the teams are being very physical and getting it done defensively. As Edina with a chance and a very aggressive play by the Huskies goaltender. Hills comes out with a poke check up to the near side. Shot by Edina, in on the net by Moe. Scrambling out in front, and Hills, but the whistle blew. Hills dove out in front of her crease, out in the slot area. Face first. Let's take a look. Puck ended up in the net, Joe, but the whistle had blown.
Correct. As you can see, Nelson had a look here earlier. Went over the top, and the whistle blew, and they continued their way. It is no-go, wiped off.
Looks like Fritz was the one who put it in, but too late. Whistle had clearly blown. Even two old guys, slow old guys like us could tell that the whistle had blown. Edina coming out here with a strong couple of first shifts here to start this second period. First 40 seconds as Huskies will bounce it back down the other way. Race for the puck into the corner. Andover getting their first. Hannah Olsen going to St. Lawrence. One of the number of Division I commits for both of these teams on the ice here tonight. Opening minute of the second period. 1-0 in favor of the Huskies. We're going to get our first penalty of the game. So here is where that physical play, it got just a little too physical there in the corner. That crashed the glass just a little bit too loudly. And a penalty here against the Huskies with Engler going to the box.
It is. In fact, boy, you could tell they came out to start the second period with some vengeance, with some fire, with a buzz. First there was Edina, then Andover reciprocated that pressure, but just got a bit overzealous in the corner.
Checking penalty there. So a 2-minute power play here for Edina. Hornets 66.7%. First two games, 4 of 6 on the power play. Huskies are perfect on the penalty kill, 7 of 7 on the season, and they get a stick on it there and cleared all the way down by Andrews.
Check and see if they can put some pressure here on.
And it's Andrews applying pressure. One player forecheck here on the penalty kill. Swung around, race for it to the net, off of the stick of Hills, or excuse me, the goaltender for the Edina Hornets, McConnell. And now the Hornets will break out right onto the stick. Nice move at her line. McCoy through center, pass ahead far side, losing the edge as Horton goes down. Stick handles from her seat, but coughs it up, and the Huskies clear.
Thorson's excellent on the penalty kill. You might remember someone else by the name of Thorson, I think, who had
Gavin.
8 or 10. Yes. He'll be coming to St. Cloud State.
He's playing at St. Cloud State.
He is.
Saw him score his first career goal at Michigan a few weeks ago. Christensen taps it away. Short-handed chance as she comes in. Backhand and juggled, but stopped and held on to by McConnell. And the face-off will be in the Edina zone. 49 seconds left in the power play.
Hey, the Huskies are even doing some puck hunting on the penalty kill. Thorson was disrupting, but on this play it was Christensen who dialed up a backhanded. Nice save by McConnell there.
Hornets win the face-off. They come right back out with it. Left to right through center is Charlotte Therrell here on the power play. Hornets power play last year 24%. Huskies penalty kill last year 85%. Both of these teams very good special teams wise on both sides. Up to the line but out of the reach of Prelwitz. So we'll go back to her line. Feed it ahead for Dubuque. That's going to bounce in and playing it safely. Smart move there by the junior netminder Clarabella Hills. 19-6-2 last year. 1.40 goals against. She had 10 shutouts and a .913 save percentage.
Power play, leading the team you mentioned last year for the Edina Hornets, Horton and also Nelson. Horton with 6 power play goals and Nelson with 5.
Face-off win there by Andrews, but up to the line. Hornets do a great job holding it in. That was Prelwitz along the wall. Now in deep. Final 5 seconds of the power play. 1-0 Huskies tapped. Here comes Thorson. Long shift for her, though. Didn't quite have the speed to track that down. Meanwhile, the Huskies are back at full strength. Engler out of the box, 5-on-5, and a successful penalty kill for the home team.
They really did a great job keeping it active, tying it up when they needed to, but also had a chance for a shorty.
Just 1 shot on goal on that power play for Edina. 1-0 Huskies, bouncing it back to the Edina line. Gina Russo, third line winger. Plays it up along the blue line, up to neutral. Schreifels for the Huskies. Gets to her blue line, dumps it in. Steps over the boards. Line change here for Andover. 13:20 left, second period. Hornets break it out. Stella Hankinson, she'll dump in. She'll step over the boards on the change. Hill stops it behind the net. Rung up here near side, bouncing out to neutral. Team still being physical along the wall. Olsen, McQuay, both there. Engler comes in to help out. Nelson for Edina was 1-on-3. Puck comes free. Gardner back here for the Hornets. Little steps up at the red line, confronts a Hornet there. They'll dump it in deep. Huskies to it first. Hornets, though, winning the battle along the end wall here in the corner now. Handling it is Horton, wanting to center, ends up into the corner. Teams again.
Well, they're scrapping.
A lot of stuff on the perimeter here, Joe. Here's a wraparound attempt. Nelson couldn't quite keep it on her stick. Goes through the crease, cleared all the way down. But it shows that both of these teams are very good at defending the middle part of the ice, because every time they try to bring it to the middle, try to get it to the slot, the high danger areas, they're usually confronted, and they don't have a whole lot of success in doing that. Yeah, you got to try a wraparound like that.
Absolutely. You could tell Edina was trying to get some spacing in the corners, back and forth, and trying to find that right avenue.
Davis versus Gertis there on the draw. And Edina, we don't keep the face-off numbers here, but I would say Edina has an advantage here as we're in the second period. Nearing the 5-minute mark. Many out at center to the red line. Kicked around a few times, a little bit out of the reach of Atkinson. Tracking it down for the Hornets is Kaylin Capson, third set defenseman, sophomore with an assist. I was looking at last year's stats for Edina, and their players on their roster, everybody but one of their players had points last year for the Edina team on their roster stat sheet.
Correct.
That's pretty impressive.
That's some depth. Also, hey, face-offs as well. They get Nelson back. Nelson's been strong tonight on the face-offs for Edina.
11.5 left, second period. Huskies holding on to a 1-0 lead. Forechecking here, pinning Edina deep in their zone. Engler got pulled down there, kind of falling from behind, off the glass and out. Just hit that high part of the glass. Mac Jones will go back to get it here for the Huskies. Wearing those special military uniforms, up to Gertis. Gertis gets through, and their shot, it goes high. Able to escape the defense on the back check, coming back through and created some space and had a pretty good look in on the netminder McConnell.
Outward pass. Nice job by Mac Jones on that pass.
Christensen ends up with it at the blue line, gets tipped back out. Now chance the other way, grabbing the puck. Russo, they had a 2-on-0 developing at the line.
Boy, maybe a little too much adrenaline.
Exactly. Sometimes you get a 2-on-0 and your eyes get too big. You get too excited. Olsen takes it in here for Andover. Hannah Olsen had a goal against Edina in one of the games last year. And again, both games last year they split. Huskies won 3-0. Edina won 3-0. Both games were at Braemar. One in the regular season and one in that holiday, that Walzer tournament that they do down there. It is rung up here by the Huskies. It'll go down and will be enough for icing. Need to do a shout out here Head coach Melissa Volk said we needed to do a shout out here because it is military night, first responder night. Their bus driver, Jerry. Bus driver Jerry's been with the team for 12 years, been their bus driver. He spent 6 years in the Air Force. So on military night, we salute Jerry, the Huskies bus driver, here tonight. There's Melissa Volk.
You get a look at Melissa in her 12th season.
We have 2 members of the 200 Win Club here tonight. Tracy Casano is also in that coach at Minnetonka, also in that 200 Win Club. In fact, she is coaching her 500th career game tonight against Centennial Spring Lake Park at Minnetonka. 500th career coaching game. And Minnetonka, last time I looked in the rankings, they were number 1.
Yes, they were. Hey, some legends behind the bench here in Andover and not far away at all for the Minnetonka coach as they compete, as you mentioned, Centennial and Spring Lake Park.
7.5-minute mark, second period. Shots are 7-5 in favor of Andover. Hornets trapped in their own zone. Now they will push it up a little bit too far, try to get it on the stick of Horton. Schreifels back up high in the air. Schreifels, Andrews. Body in there for the Hornets is Horton. Had a hat trick and 5 points in the season opener against Rogers. Shot from the left side all the way through. And Snow Angel save there by the goaltender Hills. Bringing those pads together on her seat to keep that puck out of the net. Face off in the Andover zone.
Yeah, Nelson crashed the net, then lost the edge, and then crashed the net with her skates.
Yeah, skates first.
The one thing
that's rough.
Hey, if you can't see it on TV, but I enjoy watching, is the speed. They're relentless. Both these teams, back and forth. It may think like, wow, it's a low-scoring game. Are they not productive? But everyone's in this game. The forwards are getting back on check-in.
Nelson won that draw. Huskies get it to the net. Back up to the point. Waiting for it there is Jones. Back Hornets. A little bit too far out of the reach. Starr couldn't clear it out. Huskies doing a nice job physical along the wall. Now it is pulled out of the zone here. The Hornets, Davis across the line. It's offside. Kate McCoy came in just a little bit early here for the Hornets. And the face-off will come outside of that Andover blue line.
If these two teams are playing other teams, obviously not Minnetonka and some of the others, but typically by this time they've got about 20-some shots on goal. Either team right now, 8 shots on goal for Edina, 7 for Andover. That's the strong defense and the full sheet of ice they're playing tonight, both teams.
Edina, after outscoring their first opponents, Proctor, Hermantown, and Rogers 14-1. They've got a tough stretch in their schedule at Andover, then at Hill Murray. They're at Minnetonka Saturday, December 7th. In fact, this is the first of 5 consecutive road games for the Hornets here tonight in Andover. A little bit of a road trip, even though it's not really a road trip. They don't stay on the road in high school hockey. Sometimes you're doing a weekend trip if you go up north. Andrews takes a nice lead pass, takes it to the slot, brings it to the forehand, and sends it wide, stick side in the near corner. One of the better looks that the Huskies have had here tonight. And Andrews did a really nice job stick handling there and creating some space.
She did. I was just going to say she was very poised. Got a little stick action in there, but pulled the trigger. But I like the work.
Thorson wins a battle for the puck. Slides it up the slot, past a couple of sticks and all the way down. Huskies cleared on themselves. And Hills will come out. And she'll play it up ahead. Long feed. Thorson touches it at the blue line. Teams will race in. Andrews gets to it first. Wanted to go to Thorson. Thorson camped. Piper Andrews still with it. She gets dumped. Emerson Fritz, whose grandfather is an old friend at the XL Energy Center, worked the state high school hockey tournaments up there in the stats room and the replay booth, did NHL work as well. He's here at the game tonight. Stop by to say hi. Always fun to see familiar faces here at the old hockey rink. It's a small world. Nice wraparound attempt coming around Andrews again. She's had a really nice shift. Cleared this time by Edina. It will not have enough for icing.
Yep, ran out of gas just before the goal line there, but right now it's the Huskies doing a great job of forechecking, and now Edina trying to bring in their own forechecking.
A lot of ebb and flow, back and forth. Punch, counter punch. Shot by Nelson, deflects off the glass, stays in play. Getting to it first is Dubuque, who had a brother, I think, played on last year's State Boys Hockey Tournament. Remember that name? Bounced back by Andover. It was a 1-on-2 if you're Andover. Yeah, there was the old Malachi crunch where the Andover player got crunched by 2 players in the middle. A Husky sandwich. It comes back to the blue line, picked up across the line by Christensen in her own zone. Back to the neutral zone. Grabbed by Edina, flipped up by Gardner. Goes into the zone offside though. And the whistle is down. Bring the faceoff back out to the neutral zone. 5:58 here, second period. Again, low shots on goal. 9-7 Huskies. They're holding on 1-0. But what else do you expect? A game without, 4 of the last 6 games between these teams have been shutouts.
It has. And neither team is allowing the other team to even breathe, to get anything to do with the puck. They're right there. They're in front of them. They're disrupting the play. There's nothing clean. It's so rare of that tonight. Just excellent play. You got the state champions from Edina out here, and you can contain them right now and holding them to no goals here with just under 6 to play in the second period. That says something.
Nice move by Olsen. Comes in, shot up high. And the save by McConnell. Couldn't control it. Bounces. Edina, though, able to grab the rebound. Back behind their net. Here comes team captain up through neutral. Horton crosses the red line. Dumped in wide of the net. Guess who gets there first? The person who dumped it in, Horton. That doesn't often happen. Horton all over the ice here tonight for the Hornets. Davis, Horton. Pulled free by Aubrey Davis, second line center. Couple of goals on the season here. Kayla Starr has 2 goals. Horton leads the team with 4. Had that 5-point game against Rogers. Spinorama by Starr, shot wide. Edina continues to apply the heat and the pressure. And just as I say that, long feed up ahead. It's Olsen into the zone, and she tried to tuck it in off of that far side. And along the post was the goaltender McConnell to slam the door.
That was a beautiful saucer pass and great timing by Olsen to be able to space herself from the defender and get a good look and turned away.
And McConnell guessed the move right. Guessed that she was going to go to her left glove side, and that's exactly where she went to put that pad along the far side post to keep it 1-0. Joe, let's take a look at it again.
Ryan knew exactly what we were looking at here. Beautiful pass out from the zone. Look at that saucer pass. Gets the bounce on the stick. Shows the backhand and then comes back to the forehand and stacking that one pad.
That little twitch is that fake for the backhand. And McConnell moved a little bit on it, but not enough to get burned, and made a big save to keep this 1-0. Of course, last year Edina won both the boys and the girls state championships. Lucy Bertram, who's the goaltender for the JV, the Edina JV, won tonight. The sister of Joe Bertram, who was the state championship goalie last year and stood on his head there at the end against Chanhassen in the state championship game, and just an outstanding performance. Bouncing puck up to the blue line, kept in there by Andover. Lena Fensky, the freshman defense, seeing some ice time here. She's listed as third set of D for the Huskies. Under 4 minutes left to go. Fast moving second period, centering pass, and it just went wide off the feed. Good hustle by the Huskies in finding that player that was open. It was Thorson, but it just went wide.
Oh man, they're drawing up and executing and getting some good looks. And I'll say 11-7 now shots on goal for the Huskies. First to the puck, some excellent forechecking, and now from behind the net in the slot there. Couldn't quite get the full look, Thorson, that time to get a clean shot off, but she was crashing towards the net.
Every puck is a battle. Every face-off is a battle between these teams. There have been very few clean face-off wins. Even though Edina has the face-off edge, there have been no real clean wins. It always ends up being 50-50. Bouncing puck, here's in on the goaltender, and Hills covers it up, but very few of the draws are clean wins by the centers. Pullbacks are quickly onto the stick of a teammate here tonight. Everything ends up being a puck battle or 50-50 puck. And that's just an indication of just how competitive these two teams are when they play each other.
Oh, it is. Hills was trying to find that puck that was hidden for her under the pads. course, we could see it clearly from up here. But when you have people coming on and skaters coming at you, she finally got a hold of it and smothered for the face-off.
Both teams have their main goaltenders back from last year, Hills and McConnell, although the backup tonight for Edina, Nora Hannon, is also a senior. She had 13 decisions last year, went 8-4-1. McConnell was the winning goaltender in the championship game as they get a turnover and a centering pass just out of the reach. Horton, a little 2-on-1 there as Andover coughed up the puck trying to clear it out of the zone. Comes free, left side, quick shot right in, save made by Hills, cleared down by the Huskies.
Yeah, Thorell that time, point blank opportunity, but in a good spot to read it and make that save was Hills.
Final 2:35 the period. Olsen holds it in, doesn't have numbers. Swept around, stick to stick for Aubrey Davis, decides to dump it in. They need the line change. That'll allow the Huskies to go back and reset. Up ahead feed, Jones. A little bit too far at the line. Olsen going after it. Clough is there. Picked off Hornets, pushed ahead by Davis. High slot shot. Getting it on net, Prelwitz, but gloved and held on to by Hills, and she'll freeze play.
Hashtag FTL, flashing the leather on this glove save. Low, showing some dexterity there with that glove save. Clean, seeing it all the way. And
perfect position by Hills, too. She had come out. She was in the top of her blue paint there. Cuts down the angle. Gives that player less to shoot from, of course, from the high slot from way out. And made a nice glove save. Thorson here out to neutral. 15-minute mark of the second period right now. Still 1-0. The only goal, Christensen for Andover in the final minute of the first period.
Well, both teams are just not allowing one another any space.
Schreifel's wrist shot. Blocker down by McConnell. Rebound, scores! McConnell made the initial save, and the rebound came to a Husky. I think it was Thorson, who then went top shelf on it, off the blocker. 2-0 Huskies.
Boy, nothing McConnell could do. She made a nice save on a wrister that came from the point. I was just about to say, both teams have done a great job of cleaning up rebounds, but the follow-up there is Thorson lifts it, stays poised, finds a home for that puck. The top shelf, back of the net, and the Huskies go up 2-0 in Thorson's first goal of the season.
Thorson scoring her first of the season. She had 12 last year. The Wisconsin Eau Claire commit. 2-0 Huskies. Another late goal. Last one was in the final minute. This one here in the final 2 minutes. As Edina on the attack, Huskies find the puck. Pushed up by Andrews. Up to the red line, intercepted by the Hornets. Working in as Nelson runs into a pile of bodies there. Andover really collapsing, not allowing much in the middle of the ice. And Prelwitz will be forced to dump it in. It bounces past Hills, nearing the final minute of the period.
McQuay with the assist on the goal by Thorson.
Hornets looking for a late chance here. Huskies being aggressive, pushing them out to the blue line, and that causes a turnover and cleared down by Andover. Given up, loose puck. McQuay coming in, tried to spin around. Almost a costly cough up and giveaway there by Edina. Puck does come free out front. A huge save by McConnell. Came out into the slot to challenge, and the Hornets will clear it down. Icing here with 33.3 left.
Well, I told you, both teams so physical. You got to look at the Edina head coach playing some college hockey there at Harvard. And what you find is that pressure all the time really increases the pressure. They start feeling that they can't give up any flaws, and they have to be on the top of their game, and the Huskies' pressure has really created some great opportunities here late in the second period.
I think that was Megan Arsenault, the assistant coach.
Oh, you're right.
We were showing there. That was a bouncing puck in on the right side off of an Andover face-off win. And the face-off held on to there by McConnell.
Both of the goals for Andover have started from a shot from the point and then being in front to disrupt. You need to do that when you have a goalie like Reese McConnell between the pipes for Edina.
Hornets, Davis, one last chance. Shy of the line, dumped it in, gets to it, tried to center. Huskies get a stick on it. It's going to bounce up high. Up to the point for the Hornets. Capson, one last shot. Oh, it was loose out in front. And helping out her goaltender there was one of the defenders. That was Gertis, who saw that the puck was loose, and she used her stick, which can be dangerous. You got to make sure that pad's on the ice, Joe. But she snuck the puck and trapped it up against her goaltender's pad, and Hill stops it there as she has done so far. She stopped all 10 Edina shots on goal as we go to the second intermission. Andover 2, Edina nothing. This is high school hockey. It's a big one tonight here at the Andover Community Center on QCTV Sports.
In a world where physical health often takes the spotlight, it's easy to overlook an equally important aspect of our well-being, mental health. Yet despite its significance, mental health is often stigmatized, misunderstood, or simply neglected. From creating awareness to offering education and community wellness grants, to hosting our annual 5K walk for mental wellness, the Mental Wellness Campaign for Anoka County is creating a community where mental health is as important as physical health. Let's break the silence, erase the stigma, and prioritize mental health. Together, we can create a world where everyone feels supported, understood, and empowered to live their best lives. The Mental Wellness Campaign for Anoka County, your mental health matters.
My favorite thing about volunteering as an extension master gardener is learning about the different gardening styles and sharing that knowledge with others. I love meeting and learning from people who care about educating, inspiring others through gardening. Whether you are a new or seasoned gardener, there's always something new to learn. In 2023, our Anoka County program will celebrate 40 years of teaching and working with residents. They learn to grow healthy plants and foods, improve local ecosystems, and create outdoor living spaces for people. I am one of over 150 Master Gardener volunteers living in this area, so one of our strengths is being familiar with the challenges other local gardeners face. Every May, the Master Gardeners host a plant sale fundraiser and sell plants grown and thriving in this region. The money we raise supports our community project and activities throughout the rest of the year. I am excited to see what positive changes we can make this year and the ripple effect it can create. Please visit theanokamastergardeners.org to learn about upcoming Master Gardener events and services and how you can become a volunteer.
Hi there, I'm Cameron Kaitonen, City of Andover Natural Resources Technician. I'm here to talk about the Nature Preserve Commission, formerly known as the Open Space Advisory Commission, which is an advisory board to the City Council. This group is primarily tasked with management and maintenance decisions of the 4 nature preserves in the City of Andover. This group was originally formed in 2006 to help decide what properties to purchase after the approved $2 million bond referendum that same year. After that referendum went through, the group helped to decide on 4 preserves that were purchased. The group is also tasked with looking at potential funding options for potentially buying new land in the city. The group generally meets quarterly on the second Wednesday of the month at around 6 p.m. So beginning in November, December, we will be looking for new members to the group. There will be information in the November, December edition of the city newsletter, which will outline the application process and instructions for if you are interested in applying. So if you are interested in the outdoors, interested in being a part of the community and working along with the city of Andover, and also would like to meet new people, this might be a great opportunity for you.
Hey guys, I wanted to try something new lately, so I decided to go to the City of Ramsey's website, their Park and Rec page, and I decided to try out Intro to Archery. Let's go see how I did.
The fun thing for us as coaches is that first end when we actually teach them how to draw the bow and to release and shoot their first arrows. We see a lot of misses. We see the arrows go flying and the kids kind of go, oh wow. And then as we start to make adjustments as coaches, we start to see less arrows move beyond the target and we see more hits on here. So that's like one of the most rewarding things for me as a coach is being able to see improvement and help that, Hope used the word, aha moment. That's one of our big things, is seeing those aha moments or hearing a child on the line say yes when they hit the X, you know, it's super rewarding.
Hey Leslie, it was your
Yes.
first time shooting a bow. What'd you think?
I am weak. You have to be strong and you're pulling back. It's like the tension is harder than you think. I think I did pretty well. My last one was in the blue. I don't remember when my third one was. I'm happy.
I just honestly, there's so much like self-improvement. I don't know if you put it that way, but I've learned so many lessons just coming up through it. And then being able to just help other people reach those, or like have like an aha moment, like they figure out something that transforms their shot for the better. Helping people get to that is so satisfying. It's so great. It's just really cool to watch.
The instructors were really nice and talked us through all of it, giving us tips on how to hold the bow, a good stance, and to think about the wind.
It's very windy, so it really affects things. I had some trouble shooting earlier because when you're at full draw, when you have all that weight, and then you're basically a sail, so it's really important to stay solid through the whole thing. But if you're blowing around like that, it makes a big difference. So yeah, the weather definitely, you have to take that into account. And like, there were times where I'd be up on the line and I'd just have to wait to solid 30 seconds for gusts to go by so I could actually have time. So a lot of it is thinking through how can I handle the weather. And yeah, I enjoyed that.
The grip here, it's the kind of,
You know, just those simple things of holding the bow correctly and thinking about the wind, that really makes a big difference on how you shoot and if you even hit the target. So, just things that make sense once you actually know how the sport works.
Archery is really a fun lifetime sport. Something that's super easy to get into. You can always find a local pro shop. Go out there, try some different bows. Most of the pro shops do have programs for, like we did here, on an extended basis, more of the 6 to 8 week programs where we can really develop, hunters, bow hunter, whether you're a bow hunter or just want to do it in your free time. You're 6 years old all the way up to 80 years old. We don't care, we'll come teach you how to do this sport. It's really rewarding, it's really fun.
Honestly, don't be afraid to be a beginner. Don't be afraid to be bad at it. I've been doing it for over 10 years and I still have days where I'm bad at it. Nobody's perfect. So you just have to try. Just reach out, find a place and try, because you never know. It could be the greatest thing you do.
Try archery. Reach out to local pro shop. Go have fun. Go shoot some arrows. Even if you don't own equipment, most shops have free equipment that you can use to do it, go try it. It's a lot of fun.
The City of Ramsey hosts a variety of programs and activities that will bound to match one of your interests. So you should go check out the City of Ramsey's website and sign up for something, because it's always fun to try something new.
Game Fair returned to the City of Ramsey in 2024 and was a great turnout. Hey, whether you're into fishing, hunting, or anything in between, Game Fair is the place to be. We spoke with some of the amazing vendors who were selling their excellent products, so be sure to come next year to score some great gear. But hey, the real star of Game Fair this year, the dogs. So many amazing dogs.
Drum roll, drum roll. Good job, drum roll.
Take Bingo, for example, running through his obstacle course like a pro. But hey, let's pause Bingo for just a second for what I like to call the dogs of Game Fair. If you missed Game Fair this year, no sweat. Be sure to mark your calendars for next year when Game Fair returns to the City of Ramsey in 2025.
Andover Huskies lead the Edina Hornets, a matchup of two top four teams here in Class AA girls hockey tonight. Early season matchup, Game 3 for both teams here on the season. And the Huskies scored a goal late in the first. And Joel, they scored one late in the second and take a 2-0 lead going into the third period.
Absolutely. They had that same formula that they did in the first for the second period as well. But both goals come the way of a shot initially from the point, and then able to either get a deflection or cause an obstructed view from the goalie, or getting that rebound as Thorson did in that second goal in that period number 2 to lift it over the shoulder of the goalie. But it all is initiated. That comes from that shot from the point, and then causing that disruption in front of the net. And you're going to need to do that when you have a goalie like McConnell.
Yeah, Christensen's goal in the first period, that was a redirection off of the shot by Jones. And Thorson's goal at 15-15 of the second period, that was off a rebound. McQuay with a shot from the right side, and it was off the blocker of the goaltender, McConnell. Thorson got the rebound, moved a little to her right, dusted it off a little bit so she could size it up, and then plopped it top shelf up over McConnell, and that's what made it 2-0. Shots on goal here going into the third period, 14-10. In favor of Andover. Huskies in the second period had an 8-4 advantage. As we take a look at that second period and the highlights, and of course our goal as well. And this was a great chance here.
Beautiful saucer pass out front and stymied right there. Beautiful save by McConnell. Good chance there for the Huskies. Again, Andover winning the race to the puck, and here on this goal got the deflection. Just need that type of activity in front of a goalie like McConnell, and then Thorson put it top shelf with the peanut butter for the 2-0 lead.
And we're underway in the third period. Again, the Huskies wearing special commemorative jerseys here tonight. Military night, first responder night. We had our salute. We sent out a big hello to their bus driver, Jerry, who's a graduate of the Air Force Academy, was in the Air Force for 6 years. I guess I didn't know if he went to the Air Force Academy. Do you have to go to the Air Force Academy in order to be in the Air Force?
No, you don't.
I didn't think so. Of course, Mark Manny famously
yes,
member of Air Force, played hockey at Air Force. Was at the Air Force Academy, was a pilot for Air Force One. And his boys team will open up coming up on Thursday. They'll host the Rogers Royals. That'll be a tilt. Get going right away.
Full throttle.
Full throttle in the Northwest Suburban Conference right out of the gate. Both of these teams playing some non-conference games before starting conference play as the Huskies in those special uniforms. They'll wear their usual black uniforms here at home. I guess they usually wear white here at home, don't they?
They do.
I'm thinking of the NHL.
Correct.
They'll wear white usually here at home, so these are a specialty jersey here just for tonight, unless they do another military night a little bit later. Edina trying to set up, cross-ice pass into the slot. Off of the stick of Nelson, picked up here by Andover. That'll bounce. It was off a skate in the neutral zone, so no icing. And McConnell will flip it up ahead to center, trying to stick handle through some traffic. Horton. Huskies will pick it up there. And they'll glide this one. This also will not have enough for icing. Lily Horton for Edina, 2-0 on the season, trying to go to 3-0. And trying to break this string, although they did win the game 3-0 at Braemar last year. And that was the 200th win for Sammy Cowger in her 9th season as head coach for the Edina Hornets. Scramble out in front, came from that far side, trickled through the crease. Right there, ready for it, McConnell, now cleared by Edina.
Andrews has had some great looks. She's worked hard. That time that puck got in a little too tight on her.
Schreifels fanned on and almost coughed it right up to the Hornets' Hankinson with an empty net, partial as Hills was scrambling back. Almost a dire situation there for Andover. They were able to recover. McQuay takes a long breakout pass to the blue line glove. McConnell holds on. 14:51 left in the third.
So the speed of this game and what both these teams have, plenty of gas, plenty of juice left here for the third period. You saw Edina really put some pressure on early in the second period. And they tried it again to start this third, but the Huskies were there to kind of diffuse any pressure.
Edina gets to the puck, but they can't clear. Huskies go right back to work. Andover's work along the wall here tonight has been very good. They have won a lot of puck battles, and that's created some of the chances that they've had. Again, they've outshot Edina in the game, 16-10. Huskies up to Fensky. Little lob pass, and then Atkinson, thought it was handball, Olympic sport handball, throws it in on the goaltender. That's a hand pass. That'll bring the face-off out of the zone.
That was literally looking like a hot potato. She was
great
just
chance.
Trying to get it out of there.
There we go.
Oh, by the way, maybe I'll crash that to the net on that hand pass. And,
well, you risk the danger of getting called for delay of game if you wrap your hand around it, and they did not call that, so she knew she had to get rid of it. And hey, if you're going to get rid of it, why not throw it to the net? Maybe you can get away with something, but they brought the face-off all the way back, an intentional hand pass onto the netminder. So the face-off all the way back into the defensive zone. Hornets up to the line, but they'll have to retreat. Backpedaling back is Capson. Capson onto the stick of McCoy. Brings it down the near wing wall, looking for somebody on that far side, looking for Prelwitz, but she was covered. Back up to the blue line. And the Huskies again force a bad pass up to the line and out to Mo. They have to reset. Capson. Hornets settle it down.
First line back out there again, trying to get and activate a little momentum.
Yeah, that's a dangerous line. Centered there by Nelson. Farrell and Horton.
92 career goals for that line.
Farrell is the other wing on that line, the junior, who did not have any points, did not score last year. At a goal, 3 assists, 4 points on this season already entering tonight. As she brings it in, actually that was Davis. Davis tried to shovel it out in front. Comes back up to the point. Dubuque with a shot, hit bodies out in front of Hills. Deflects to the near corner. We're already 4 minutes into the third period. 2-0 Andover. Goals by Christensen and Thorson, each getting their first of the season. And the Huskies, with their 2 goals tonight, they've doubled up their season performance and their season output entering tonight after the first 2 games.
Hey, 13th meeting between these 2 teams. Andover coming into tonight, 28 goals to 15 goals in those previous 12 meetings.
Gardner swings it right back around for the Hornets. In the corner, Edina looking to center. To the net from that right wing was Horton, and it bounces through the slot. Back behind Davis, up to the point, back in low. Hornets need one here to get it to 2-1. Andover continuing to defend well in their zone as they bounce it back the other way. Dubuque.
Yep, and you're seeing Edina really go with some precise passing a lot quicker.
Davis along the goal line, gets it to the backhand, tried to stuff it in. And the save made by Hills, and she covers it up. We mentioned the Andover boys team opening up Thursday against Rogers. This is a pretty good one for Edina to open up down at Braemar on Friday. They get Maple Grove.
Yeah, it is very much. As you can see, she
Wonder
tried
if is that the turkey trot? Didn't say that on the schedule, but those teams usually play in it's Wayzata and Maple Grove. And the turkey trot tournament there at the Plymouth Ice Center. Might have to do a little more investigating on that, Joe. Get our crack staff on that. It says it's at Edina. We'll take a look at that as we get a face-off here on Hills, as she'll cover that up.
Edina
and the face-off will once
really
again
put in a lot more biscuits out in front and pressuring Hills. They realize they have to stop looking for that perfect shot and just get some shots on goal.
My intuition serves me well, Obi-Wan. Wow. Yes, Plymouth Ice Center, turkey trot, Maple Grove, Moorhead, Edina, and Wayzata involved in that little 4-team tournament coming up this Friday and Saturday. And then a rematch of last year's state championship game for the Edina boys at Chanhassen on Cyber Monday, December 2nd. Andover after the puck here along the end wall. Hornets pick it off. Banked up by Starr. Up in the air. Loose stick. Huskies have to work through a stick on the ice. Comes back up to the blue line. That was Atkinson, did a nice job. Hornets dump it back the other way. Referee picked up the stick. Not sure which team it was from, so he just throws it into the old referee's crease, far side of the ice. 2-on-3, in come the Huskies. Right side shot, Engler. Off the glass, rebound free to the far half wall.
But you're right again, Jim. Huskies really won that battle, working hard along the boards, and Engler, as a result, had a good look.
We're over 6 minutes into the third period. Still 2-0 Huskies.
Now, I averaged up the scores, Jim, and now I'm just going to tell you, I have a predicted score tonight of 3-1.
Oh,
now,
you're using advanced metrics.
But absolutely.
Sabermetric Joe will call you.
Joe's Tomahawk Conference from Morton, Minnesota, math.
Bill Tomahawk Conference. Do they play hockey in the Tomahawk Conference?
They do not play hockey in the Tomahawk Conference.
Heck of a wrestling conference, if I remember correctly. Puck bounces off the shelf and into the Andover bench. Face-off will be to the left-hand side here of Clarabella Hills, the junior goalie.
I had my Crash Analytics team put together that result after all those games and previous and home games. And 3 seems to be kind of a trendy number when these two teams get together. But I have a 3-1 final from the start. I didn't mention it earlier. I knew I should have, but we'll see where this transpires.
We don't make predictions on high school sports. I can't stand that, to be honest. Anybody asks me to do it, I say I do not. I choose not to predict. It's like Seinfeld. I choose not to run. I choose not to predict. It's a slippery slope, I think, in high school sports to do that.
But filling out with this, the number 3-0 number, a series of 3-0 wins.
You were just doing math. You really weren't predicting. You were just doing a mathematical equation.
And the fact that the Huskies have had a lot of success when they play Edina here on this ice.
Christensen, little toe drag, drop pass. Olsen comes in, shot, scores! Oh, that was a fantastic play as Olsen on the drop pass from Christensen. 3-0 Andover.
That was a snipe. Whoa! She unleashed the good shot, good stick work. And Hannah Olsen dials up the goal here. You can see it. The drop pass and the shot from the dot. Beautiful snipe.
7:22 time of the goal. Olsen getting her first of the season. Christensen the assist on the nice drop pass. And it was Olsen was kind of hiding behind Christensen, and the Hornets didn't really see her, and they dropped the pass to her. And then she kind of stepped out behind everybody and beat the netminder McConnell on the glove side up high.
A little rising wrister and a little velo combination with that.
3-0 now here for the Huskies. They go right back to work out in front. Thorson with a bid for her second of the game. Rebound off the save by McConnell, goes up the slot. Back here to the near corner. Tapped into the corner, Andrews. Boy, the Huskies right now with all kinds of momentum. They are on the toes. And they've got Edina a little bit on their heels here. Just as I say that, the Hornets come across the line. Poking at it was Hankinson. Now it does come free. Davis upended across the line to the right side into the corner. Horton after it. Has a hat trick on the season here this year against Rogers. But nothing on the board here tonight yet for Edina. Huskies trying to keep it there. Andrews goes lateral along the line. Sends it wide to McConnell off the end wall bank. Crashing in Clough. Moe along her end wall. So now Edina's really got to be desperate here. They got to start taking some chances here, down 3-0. I just don't know if they can, the way that Andover has taken away so much time and space and has taken away the ice here from Edina, the way that they just haven't had much room.
Right, and the Huskies have been doing a lot of puck hunting tonight, but also some great forechecking.
Up to the line, held in. That's going to be a trip. There was a break chance the other way off of the block. Farrell intercept. And Schreifels knew it immediately. She reached out with a stick. She tripped her up. It's a tripping, a 2-minute minor, and this might be the chance that Edina is looking for here tonight. They'll get their second power play of the game.
Yep, it's been a pretty clean game. Other than that, 2 penalties whistled on the Huskies. Second power play opportunity here for Edina. 7:53 to play in the third. 3-0 lead.
Edina 0 for 1 tonight. They were 4 for 6 on the power play entering tonight. And again, that Andover penalty kill perfect entering this kill. 8 for 8. And it'll be sent down. And that's what you do on the power and the penalty kill against the team on the power play. Get it, clear it, and make them go 200 feet. Up to the far side, Davis. Her pass at neutral doesn't connect, and the Huskies throw it right back into the Edina zone. Libby Moe. Sophomore fed up ahead onto the stick of Davis. Aubrey Davis glides down the wing, feeds it up for Nelson. They'll work it around on the perimeter. Nelson, Moe. Moe gets it back. Shot from that right side. Horton wide off the end wall. Comes to the doorstep and finding it with her glove is Hills. Will get the whistle. All kinds of bodies there around the Andover net. It stays 3-0 now. The minute 13 left in the power play.
Well, what Andover's done another nice job of, they typically always do that, but not allowing quality follow-up shots and getting back defensively or trying to clear. Edina's also equally done a great job of that, with the exception of a couple of the shots from the point that have given the Huskies a good look.
Edina wins the face-off here on the power play. They get it up to the line. Moe, though, in some skates, picked off, and Andover will flip it down.
Give that specialty unit some fresh legs out.
This is almost a must-convert situation for Edina on their power play. Horton, again, the Huskies force them wide. Back behind the net. Horton looking, and Nelson looking to center it out in front. Swept out of danger by Andover. Back up to the line. Held in again. Nice move there by Nelson. Makes the change of direction. Flips it up high to Moe. Moe then to Davis. Back to Nelson. Save by Hills. Now Hills has been just so steady in the nets here so far tonight. 14 shots on goal, 14 saves.
Hey, just smooth and great technique. Knows where the puck is here. Had to really search for a couple of those biscuits in that second period, but the defense came back and helped out. But now she's in a great spot. 26 seconds left on the power play for Edina.
Coach Cowger will send Hankinson out to take the draw. The puck came free. Farrell tried to get to it in the slot. Instead, it's Andover clearing it all the way down. The final 13 seconds of the power play here for the Hornets will have to start below their goal line. Backhanded up to center. Dumped in Farrell. Andover finds it, takes a funny bounce off one of the glass panels far side, still cleared. Meanwhile, back at full strength. Schreifels out of the box, and another penalty kill here for Andover tonight. 2 for 2 on the PK. And they hold on to a 3-0 lead, and now that clock starting to become a big-time opponent here, the Edina Hornets.
Yeah, Andover's playing with some great cadence and flow.
Trying to create something off a turnover off that bounce from the far side point, Dubuque. And instead, it's McQuay. Bringing it up ahead, Thorson upended, spun around, lost her stick at the blue line. McQuay after it in that far corner in the Edina zone. Flip ahead, Dubuque just a little bit out of her reach on the breakout. McQuay this time goes down, cleared out, but didn't make it to the red line. Now spinning back on the other side will be Jones. Edina knowing they've got a press here. McQuay tried to make a move to the slot, forced to the right wing, grabbed and cleared, iced by Edina. Under 5 now. Final 5 minutes. We're into crunch time here, and Andover has themselves a 3-goal lead.
Hey, they're playing with some great speed, great confidence. Even up 3-0, you're not seeing them rest back in the neutral zone. You saw Jones and the rest of them trying to apply some pressure, and that time Edina iced it. Just they needed some fresh skates out there.
First line again out there, Lorelei Nelson. And Andover winning an offensive zone faceoff. Here's Christensen. That's blocked out in front. Friendly fire. It's like Engler got it. And then Edina picks it up, clears it down. Up for Christensen. She got spun around. Linesman got in the way as well. Christensen ends up with it. Had it, lost it, up into the air. Horton tried to settle it down. Christensen back after it. She sidesteps one Hornet at the blue line, but could not sidestep Russo, who brings it on the right side, spins around on that far side circle, comes up to the point and dumped back in deep off the stick of Horton. Horton gets a return pass. Nelson, and again, everything out on the perimeter, everything outside the dots here, and Andover defending so well. There's just nothing for Edina to work with here. Curling away far side. Horton again can't take it to the middle. Ends up to the blue line. Cross ice pass intercepted. Christensen lost the handle. Ends up back to Horton in her own zone. Bounces to Christensen, who holds the zone. Parcel change here for Andover joining the play, but Christensen had the puck poked away. Horton picks it up, carries it here near side.
Christensen was at the end of her shift and did everything to try to hold on and get a support out there.
And we get a trip here on Edina. Little went down, and we'll see the Andover power play for the first time tonight. So 14 shots on goal for Edina tonight. They had a 52-2 shots advantage against Rogers in that game. 52-2.
And it's tough to see just how proficiently Andover is playing tonight. If you're not looking at it, just 52 shots against Rogers, 14 here tonight. There's a lot of things the Huskies are doing right to prevent a lot of those shots being taken.
And now there's a chance for the Huskies to seal the deal here, up 3-0. They go on to their power play, looking for their first power play goal of the season. Coming in 0 for 4. It's their first power play of the night. Andrews, hooking call there on Moe. Puck comes free. Behind the net, Clough comes up to the near wing, sends it right back into the corner. Huskies here don't have to push, but you don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal either. They know at 3-0, the one thing that they can't do and can't afford to do, Joe, is give up a shorty the other way.
Absolutely.
So you got to be careful.
Near side here's coming in clean.
Here on the near side, they'll set it up on the offensive zone. Andrews along the end wall. Taken out by Dubuque, but then it comes free because of the extra player, Thorson. Andrews up to the far side.
Working it around the clock.
Yeah.
Good passing.
We used to call that around the world back in the day.
Right.
Just bringing it around the world, up and out of play. Coaches for Edina ducking out of the way. 2:22 with the third period here starting to wind down. And the Huskies with a 3-0 lead and still 51 seconds left in their power play.
Well, you know, there's a player who hasn't scored for the Huskies tonight, but it's been Andrews, and Andrews has really been instrumental in kind of keeping that chemistry and the flow of the play for the Huskies.
Off the draw, Engler came in to take the face-off. Huskies back to their zone. Jones, nearing 2 minutes left. Jones. Cross ice here at neutral. Engler. She's forced wide on the defense by Prewitz. Working around on the perimeter is a wrist shot off a shoulder up high in the air, and that player got dinged. That's Prelwitz. She got hit in an unpadded area, it appears, because she felt that one. As the Huskies have to go back to get it. Final 5 seconds of the power play. Here's Olsen, who has one of the 3 goals tonight. Gets it back to Engler. Reversal to the left side. Centering pass tipped. Meanwhile, Edina's back at full strength. But now just a minute 23 left to go. They need 3. Things looking rosy here for Andover.
Huskies look to kind of keep their success streak here at the Andover Community Center in check here against Edina.
With a 3-0 game, it doesn't look like the Hornets really have any interest here in pulling McConnell. She's staying in the blue paint. It'll be icing here for the Edina Hornets. If it was 2-0, they probably do pull her. Some coaches would pull it 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 because they got nothing to lose. But here in this instance here for Edina, McConnell staying in the nets with a 3-0 Andover lead, 54.2 remaining.
Andover playing obviously their best game of the year, but it's just good to be able to play at this level and now playing consistently against the state champion.
Yeah, the Huskies had beaten Holy Angels 1-0. 2-0 loss to Minnetonka, so they really didn't know. I mean, Minnetonka obviously #1 ranked, and it was a 2-0 game. They were in it the whole game, and it was tight, low scoring. But they're going to pass a pretty big test here with the defending state champs coming in here to the Andover Community Center. And they're going to pick up a win here in the final 22 seconds of this game. The only question is, does that 0 stay on the board as Dubuque comes in, stick handling the right side, lost the puck. Huskies get a stick on it, Little in the corner, final 12 seconds. Huskies will break it out to neutral. Through the center circle, Atkinson towards the net, save, rebound with 1 second left, covering up. McConnell will have time for one more drop of the puck in the Edina zone with 7/10 left. I think we can safely say that the shutout has been secured. And they're going to say, well, with 7/10, we're just going to run it off, and that's what they do. So you hear the horn, and it is an Andover win. They shut out the defending state champs. Final score tonight here in Andover, 3-0, and it was an impressive performance.
Well, up and down, a full sheet of ice, a great game. Coach Volk had that team running full throttle from the puck drop, and in every aspect of the game, they played well defensively, didn't allow a lot of rebounds. 3 different goal scorers for the Huskies. Hey, a lot of first goals tonight, and then a shutout for Hills.
Christensen, Thorson, and Olsen all scoring their first goals of the season for Andover here tonight. And Huskies goaltender junior Clarabella Hills getting her second shutout of the season, improving her record to 2-1-0 in this 3-0 victory. Shots on goal for the game, 19-14 in favor of the Andover Huskies. They improved to 2-1. Edina suffers their first loss of the season, 2-1. The Hornets are at Hill Murray a week from tonight, so they don't play again until another week. They're at Hill Murray, rematch of last year's state championship game. Andover will head to Victoria to take on the Holy Family Fire. That'll be on Thursday night. That might be the first time Andover's ever played Holy Family in girls hockey, so that'll be at Holy Family. That'll be at Thursday. For Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson. Again, your final here tonight. Andover 3, Edina 0. They get the shutout here on home ice. For all of our crew here at the Andover Community Center, for Joe, I'm Jim Erickson. Have a good night. You've been watching high school hockey on QCTV Sports.